Okay, I wanted to do a quick video about something that came to me through a client a few months ago. And it's about how our energy fields react to external manipulation or abuse. So this situation came about because I had a client that went to a random meeting, and it turned out this seemed very cult-like, she felt. And after the meeting, they did a lot of emotional healing stuff, but it was very emotionally driven. And afterwards, she couldn't think clearly. She felt like there was something off about her energy, and didn't know what was going on. And so she wanted me to just check in on her and see what was going on, why she felt so off after she left. And after she did more research, she seemed to think this was very cult-like. And the definition of that is determined by the intention behind it, but it felt very strategic. It was a very old system, and people weren't questioning it or the processes. And so what I do is I help liberate people from manipulation, control, and help them to stay balanced, centered, and aligned with their divine nature and source. And that way they're sovereign and free. Okay, and that's the point of the energy healing at a spiritual level. Mental and emotional as well, because the mental and emotional blocks and traumas and wounds manipulate and carve our path just as much as external stimulus or internal compass if those aren't cleared. Okay, so we work on clearing and opening and expanding everything, so you have this divine alignment, and then can discern your path for yourself. Okay, if a spiritual or work environment or religious environment, if they are anyway trying to control you, it will show in your field by these examples I'm going to show you. Okay, and this also includes mental, emotional, and physical abuse. Okay, now understand that we're just looking at the energy field. Okay, there's no diagnosis here. There's no, you have to do this to heal. We're just looking at the energy field, and this is a starting point, or even something that can be an aid to work that people are already doing. But it's important to see how these shifts are happening, because this is at a quantum subtle level. So you can see these distortions or shifts before there's any traumatic or long-term effects of it. So this is why it's good to have the energy field clear and open. And to know how to do that yourself, because you'll feel when things are off instead of getting ingrained in something or entangled in something, and then all of a sudden you're like, how did I get here? Okay. So first I asked about the cult, and when I looked at her energy, basically she's done a lot of work. So she had higher gateways were distorted. They weren't completely shut down, so she was able to maintain that connection. But when we got to the physical body, the crown was shut down, the third eye was open, the throat was shut down, the heart was open, solar plexus shut down, sacral open, root shut down, and lower gateways were shut down. So what we're seeing here is all of the mental levels of the field were completely closed, and all the emotional levels were open. So what they did, and whether this was intentional or not, I'm not sure, but they appealed to her emotions. They went in, they opened those, expanded those, and cut off the ability for her to think critically. Okay, and she felt that. She was able to say, I don't feel like I can make good decisions right now. I feel like I'm in this other landscape. Okay, now when I just asked, a really harsh cult environment would open the heart and close everything else down. A really distorted, inverted cult that we've known to kind of have that trigger in our mind of what a cult is. And so the only thing open is the heart. Everything else is completely shut down. Okay, so every other avenue for information discernment, mental, self-love, higher knowing. Those are all closed. And so the heart field itself is the most powerful field in the human energy system. But if there's no other input, this makes you open to manipulation from others, okay? So we see this on a grand scale, mass consciousness. We can see how easily people are manipulated, and it can happen individually, one-on-one, if everything's shut down and only the heart's open. It can happen in a cult-like environment such as that, where you have a group of people following some idealist leader. So that's the cult. And then we have just a basic like indoctrination through school systems or work environments or systems that are inverted, corrupt. Basically what they do is they allow some of the information, so all the higher gateways are slightly open, higher faculties are slightly open, so they feel a connection to source, but it's all distorted. And then this solar plexus, sacral, and root are open, balanced, so their focus is on the inversions, the lower realms, survival, procreation, power, and they're not grounded. So basically what happens, unless your higher gateways are really open, expanded, and pure, you have to pull energy from the earth. Because if you pull energy down and you have not done the work to purify and expand, you're going to pull in all sorts of other stuff too. Okay, so that's what's happening here, is they can't pull this pure energy from the earth. They're completely shut off from the earth. They're pulling from here, which are trickling in distortions and true source light. It's all a mixed bag here and running from those lower three chakras. So we could see this in anything that is really programming, like public school systems, medical, a lot of the systems that we see that are really corrupt right now. And so this is how people are programmed, okay, the indoctrination. Then we look at emotional abuse. All we see here is the heart being open, so we already spoke about that. And that's when the emotions are basically triggered, activated, expanded, and there's no other information or input, okay? And that's why it's easy to get stuck or trapped there, because that's all you know. And there's no way to get out of it, because all you know is that trauma or that wound, okay? And then mental abuse would be in the root chakra, and this, again, it's the same thing, only it's survival. It's simply like fight or flight, survival mode. And then when we get into a physical abuse system, everything's shut down. So there's no energy flow at all if somebody is consistently abused. Now, like I said, I don't want this to be a harsh reading for anyone. I want people to understand how this is reflected in the energy field, and what people can do energetically if they feel there may be some issues here that may help you mend after you get the help you need at a physical level. So the first step obviously would be to get help and get out of an environment, and then we can do energy stuff down the road. But this is more helpful for energy healers, people that are working with the collective now on this level, to understand how these are affecting people, okay, at an energetic level. And so obviously the energy field is not the first priority in any of these situations, except for the indoctrination. That's something that we could slowly move out of, and that would be helpful. But there is a physical shift that needs to happen first, and then we can help with the energy and the mental, emotional rehabilitation and healing. So what, let's see here. There is a guidance for people that have been in these situations in the past, because if you're in this situation now, this energy healing is not going to be your path, okay? This is going to be for people that have already stepped out of that energy and are now healing from it, okay? And so the gift here for you guys in these situations is basically an ability to connect to the higher realms with your soul. So a lot of times we leave the body in these traumatic experiences. We leave the body, and then the body's kind of being programmed and channeled into whatever ways they're being manipulated. So there's a gift here for you guys to really expand and connect to the higher dimensions. This is talking about 7D consciousness and ability to travel to higher realms, higher densities, higher dimensions, okay? And learning how to give and receive from those higher energies, okay? And that's the gift in this, is through that pain as you understand the goodness, okay? And yeah, there's so basically what they're saying is in these really harsh environments, our soul can kind of exit our body and go just like out of body and travel. And we are not going to connect to it, remember, because our chakras and energy centers aren't open. Doesn't mean the work isn't being done though. Okay, so and what's going on at those points in time is that there's a lot of information coming to you, a lot of learning, a lot of knowing. You could also be connecting to your soul family and learning, okay? So, but there's also a lot of 4D astral energies that come in, and that can confuse people. So really there is this emphasis on a really, really strong polarity. So you have the physical reality that is stuck in this really dark, dense, heavy energies, and then a spiritual reality that is really brilliant. You're surrounded by soul family, 70 high frequency energies at a soul level. You're experiencing both of those. Okay, so this is the epitome of duality, okay, in those traumatic experiences. So when you get out of those physically, then it's about reconnecting, reharmonizing, and coming into unity. Okay, that is the lesson in those harsher situations. Okay, so they're showing me the remedy here is to work with cosmic energies. Metatron's cube activation will help you to open all of the gateways, higher gateways, in-body chakras, and rebalance you and reconnect you to your North Star. Because what happens in that deep polarity is you're disconnected from your soul path, okay? Because you can't find it. You're completely disconnected there because the polarity is so strong. So by doing that, you open this up, you can reconnect to your soul's path and your North Star and begin to expand into cosmic energies, okay? But to do that, there's a need to really trust, to open up, and to learn to open up to these higher spiritual energies. Some of this could be even manipulation from spiritual or religious leaders as well, okay? So that's the work, and they're saying it could be a slow process, and it's going to take time. But to really reconnect, that's the path to start working with the higher gateways. And Metatron's Cube was the primary one recommended here, okay, to start. We don't want to do too much unless you've been on this path for a while, okay? And you've started the healing and you're really moving on from that, okay? Just gonna see if there's anything else. Okay. So there's some learning here. These are great examples. Okay, so energy specific ascension frequencies. This will just help you understand the energy body as well as what you need to do for the ascension path. Okay, it just clarifies things quite a bit. Then we have color breathing. So this would be a good daily meditation to do to make sure your in-body chakras are balanced. Okay, if your higher gateways aren't open, expanded, your lower gateways aren't open, expanded, that's okay. That's a lot of people don't have those open and expanded. But to start, And if you do this daily, then you'll notice if something gets shut down, okay? You'll notice if things aren't running as smoothly as they usually do or you're used to. And that's how you know there's either some old energies, thought processes, or emotions coming that need to be cleared. And it's a process. It takes time to move through all this, okay? And then we have Star Crafting episode 5, Alchemical Painting, Flow, I Am, and Manifest Destiny. So really this is about painting, emotional, working with creative energies to help with clearing emotional, mental blocks, traumas, etc. And I would say that is the best first step for anybody. The energy healing, especially the opal quantum healing and the academy, need to be done after you've been on your path for a while. But the creative stuff, star crafting, spiritual alchemy, those types of things can be done immediately as a way to help you reconnect to your higher self, to source, to divine love. And they're really powerful process, just painting just to paint, and you're not trying to sell them, dancing to dance, writing to write, for no other reason, just doing that. And so those are the 3 things that are recommended for you guys, okay? So again, this is for people that have been on the path. You're out of any negative situation. If you are not out of a negative situation, that needs to be first and foremost, okay? And then, again, this is just the energy field. We're not talking about anything else there, just how it reflects there. And the solutions to help aid you in your recovery there with the field, okay? I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.